Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I am back with the 4th episode in the Road to Rank series where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Anyway, yesterday I asked you guys whether you wanted to see 1 or 2 battles per episode, and almost all of you said 2 battles, so from this point on I'm going to try to make these episodes a bit longer, accommodating for 2 battles in 1 episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the change. This is going to be the first time I'm going to be trying it out, so let me know in the comments below whether you enjoy it or not. And as always, leave a like if you want a series to continue. As always, let's aim for another 500 likes on this video for another upload tomorrow. In addition, I have a bunch of short announcements. Since I'm on winter break now, I'm going to be streaming, or aiming to stream at least 1 to 2 hours every day, so if you don't follow me, definitely check me out at twitch.tv/CybertronVGC. I'm going to have a schedule for you guys very soon, but for now, just follow the channel. In addition, a lot of you guys have asked about team building guides, individual Pokemon analyses, EV guides, etc. And I'm actually starting on all of that stuff tonight. So a lot of that will be coming up in the basically next few weeks. So you can definitely expect daily Road to Rank series battles, but in addition, there will be a lot of guides coming out starting probably tomorrow. So keep your eyes open for that. Should be really exciting. I have a lot of really great stuff planned. Finally, I'm going to be switching teams for the next Road to Rank battles. So definitely let me know which mega I should use. I'm actually going to have a straw poll in the description below, so feel free to respond, and the mega that gets the most votes is going to be featured for the next couple of episodes. But fear not, I'm going to be using basically every mega eventually in this series. My rating currently is around 1700. I'm going to find a 1617 player from Illinois, US. And my opponent's going to have a team of Mamoswine, Azumarill, Salamence, Scrafty, Togekiss, and Aegislash. So pretty interesting team. We've got the Togekiss, which is the new face, given that it wasn't allowed in VGC 14 and wasn't used that much in VGC 13 either. It's really new because now it has Fairy type, which makes it pretty threatening. I think I'm going to go with Bisharp as my lead. Bisharp Crest feels really safe with Camerupt in the back. And for my last one, I'm thinking Rotom Wash. Mainly because it beats the not the Sylveon, I've got Sylveon. It beats the Azumarill, the Scrafty, Togekiss. Yeah, I'm going with Rotom Wash. So Crush, Bisharp, Rotom Wash, and Camerupt are my 4 this game. By leading with the Bisharp, it basically, if he chooses to lead with one of the 2 Intimidators, Scrafty or Salamence, that's going to give me the Defiant boost. Of course, they don't always carry Intimidate, but it's very, very common that they do. Though now I have seen normal Salamences that are Mega Salamences not carry Intimidate, specifically because Bisharp and sometimes even my Milotic are relatively common Pokemon. So I'm still going to lead with that just because his team is actually really Bisharp weak. The only thing that gives Bisharp a lot of trouble, I'd say, is the Mamoswine, and Crest deals with Mamoswine pretty well. So if I can set up Trick Room, Camerupt can sweep through my opponent's team pretty hard. Heat Wave hits most of the team for super effective or neutral damage. So I feel pretty good right now about my position in terms of leads. Of course, a big part of VGC is the 4 Pokemon you bring. So you often feel either confident, neutral, or unconfident based off how the lead matchups work, and I feel pretty solid right now. He's gonna go with his Aegislash and Togekiss against my Bisharp and Cresselia. So decent lead matchup here. I have a bunch of options. I can Helping Hand Iron Head to KO the Togekiss right away, since presumably it's going to follow me. But I can also just set up Trick Room, setting up for Camerupt in the back. So the question is what I want to do, really. I think Trick Room might be the better play. Yeah, I'm going to Iron Head, Togekiss, and Trick Room. And even though Bisharp isn't going to... Oh, wow, he's going to go for the Air Slash right away onto Bisharp. Did not see that coming. Interesting. And I do flinch, which is really unfortunate. So that's rough. He is going to stance change. Let's see who he targets. Shadow Ball most likely onto Crest. Yep, that's not going to be able to KO me, though. Not even close. Bring me down to under 50%, but I do have leftovers. And I am going to be able to at least set up Trick Room. But that flinch was unfortunate. I would have been able to get a lot of damage off against the Togekiss. But I'm still in a decent position right now. I'm going to go for the Iron Head once again onto the Togekiss. Actually, I'm going to Helping Hand Iron Head, I think. Might have been smarter to set up Sunny Day in retrospect, but nah. I suspect Aegislash is going to sub or King Shield here. So Crest is going to get the Helping Hand off onto Bisharp. Okay, he's going to go for the Follow Me, which is a very smart play. He's going to go for the Shadow Ball with Aegislash onto Cresselia once again. And that is going to knock me out with the critical hit. Would have been a damage roll, I think, but I don't mind that because I get a free switch into the camera up I've got in the back now, and Ironhead should be able to knock out the Togekiss given the Helping Hand boost, which it does. So a very close game right now. We've both traded Pokemon. We both traded kind of the support Pokemon that we have. So I'm going to bring in Camera Up here, obviously, because now I've got 3 full turns of Camera Up to sweep through, but I've got to use them accordingly. And let's see who he brings in here. Mamoswine's going to come out, which I'm pretty happy to see. That's definitely a Pokemon I don't mind dealing with. So I'm going to Sucker Punch, Mega Evolve, Heat Wave here. Though I am thinking right now, if he has a Azumarill in the back, I might want to Ironhead the Aegislash, which would be the Pokemon to switch into Azumarill. Because if he doesn't go for that play, you know, obviously right now he can just protect Mamoswine and switch out Aegislash or King Shield. And if that is the case, that's going to be fine, but if he switches into Azumarill, then that's going to threaten my Camera Up a lot. So you know what? I'm going to Ironhead the Aegislash and go for a Heat Wave. Oh, he's not going to switch out though. So maybe this was an unnecessarily risky play. Perhaps he just Earthquaked with Mamoswine and King Shielded with Aegislash, which if that is the case, yeah, that looks like it's going to be the case. So I kind of went too far into that prediction there. Though if he doesn't have Sash on Mamoswine, then I'll be fine. But he's going to go for the double protect there. So I'm actually content. That's fine. Perfectly fine with me. Because it means I'm guaranteed to KO the following turn. Ironhead obviously is going to bring me to -2 now with Bisharp. But because of Defiant, it actually isn't going to matter at all. I actually forgot about that. So I don't feel that bad about my play anymore. If Mamoswine had Sash and went for the Earthquake there, it would have been really bad. But that would have been a very risky play. And now I can just Heat Wave once again. And since Camera Up is so slow, should be the fastest Pokemon on the field. And I'm going to go for the Ironhead onto Mamoswine. If Mamoswine has Sash, then I'll just KO it with the Heat Wave Ironhead. And if it doesn't have Sash, then obviously I can... The Ironhead's going to... Oh, he has Wide Guard! Didn't see that coming. I totally forgot that Wide Guard was the thing on Aegislash. Oh, that's so bad. No, I don't think Ironhead can knock out the Mamoswine here. Let's see. Oh, but it does! Clutch attack there from Bisharp as it knocks out the Mamoswine. Whew! Saving me from a turn of Wide Guard shenanigans. As Salamence comes in. Things are looking good now. But, wow, what a turn there. Interestingly, he went for the Wide Guard right after King Shield, actually. I'm pretty sure the chance of that is only... it's basically the chance of getting a double protect off. Perhaps it's the other way around. I'm not entirely sure about that. But either way, I'm in a fantastic position right now. I can just Heat Wave once again. And go for the Ironhead onto Salamence. Actually, I'm going to Earth Power Aegislash just to avoid any Wide Guard shenanigans. And he's going to Mega Evolve. But, oh my god, if it was a Sasha Mamoswine, which I really was anticipating it to be, I would have been done for, but the Ironhead KOing there was huge. Yep, he's going to fail King Shield there because he just went for the Wide Guard, and that does count for the counter. Earth Power actually doesn't knock out the Aegislash, and it's got Weakness Policy. This might mean trouble for me. I should have probably Hidden Power Ice the Salamence instead. So this is bad. As he goes for the Fire Blast, okay, onto the... Bisharp, which knocks me out. Yeah, I definitely played that turn incorrectly. Should have knocked off the Aegislash and HP Ice the Salamence, which actually would have just allowed me to win the game. Instead, I made a very silly play. However, I'm still fine, I think. I can just T-Bolt the Aegislash here and HP Ice the Salamence. Yeah. He shouldn't be able to KO Rotom. But we'll see. I've made definitely a bunch of misplays in this battle. I did not play a perfect game, especially that last turn. That was very careless. He's going to protect Salamence, though. That's going to ensure me to win, basically. Yep. Don't know why he really protected there. If he wanted any chance of winning, he had to attack Rotom with Salamence. But instead, I'm going to pick off with the knockout on Aegislash there. And now it's going to be a 2-on-1. There's no way Salamence can win this. So I'm going to just T-Bolt Salamence and HP Ice. He's going to go for the Double Edge, which is probably going to KO that Camera Up. But Camera Up is very bulky and actually takes that with 36 HP. I underestimate the bulk of Mega Camera Up, as Rotom targets the Salamence there and picks up the KO, as I managed to win a very intense battle, actually. Wow. I mean, there were a bunch of things. I guess just to do a quick analysis of the game as we look for the second match in this episode. But first couple of turns played out pretty well. Air Slash Flinch on Bisharp scared me, but I was able to set up Trick Room. I knew I'd be able to guarantee a Trick Room against Aegislash and Togekiss as the leads. Should have played safer, I would say, against the Mamoswine, but I was really scared of the Azumarill he's got in the back. Which is why I actually brought Rotom, like I said, in team preview. And the wide guard on Aegislash I definitely should have seen. It's a move that you should always expect on Aegislash and predict, but at the time, it was just not in my head at the moment. So, that he definitely really scared me when he went for the wide guard. But fortunately enough, the Iron Head did manage to pick up the knockout on Mamoswine, so that saved me. And in the end game, like I said, I definitely should have just HP Ice Salamence and knocked off the Bisharp, but I didn't. But I still managed to win, and my second opponent's going to be a 1800 player from Japan, so this should be another good match. And he's got what is already basically a VGC 15 kind of good stuff team. Just some of the more standard but strong Pokemon. Kangaskhan, Zapdos, Bisharp, Gengar, Suicune, and Landorus T. So, two things here. One, Mega Evolution, definitely the Kangaskhan. Two, he's got the Gengar and the Bisharp, which really scare away Cresselia, so I'm not very fond of that. Suicune is an interesting sight to see, mainly because it wasn't allowed last year. Most of these Pokemon were allowed last year, Kangaskhan, Zapdos, Bisharp, and Gengar, for those that played, and Landorus Therian was a staple of VGC 2013. It really dominated everywhere. Suicune is one of the newer Pokemon. Not newer, obviously, given the fact it's second gen, but it wasn't really used that much in VGC 2013, but a bulky water type is always pretty powerful. Rotom Wash is going to be really important in this matchup, I can tell already. And if I can set up Trick Room, that would be really good. But the question is what I want to lead with. I think I'm going to go Hariyama Cresselia with Camerupt Rotom in the back. That's what I'm leaning towards right now. Sylveon, once again, not going to be too good in this match. I really think I should replace Sylveon, mainly because it doesn't fit too well into this team. And I'm already kind of Gengar Bisharp, one of the, Ghost Dark type weak enough as it is. So I should probably find a replacement for Sylveon to counter that. I actually really am tempted to go with Bisharp as well, but I think Hari, Crest, Camerupt, and Rotom are too important. All of these are essential to a matchup. Bisharp would be nice to get the Defiant boost from the Landorus T if he chooses to bring it, though I suspect he might not even bring the Landorus. But, alright, I'm going to lock in. So, Hari Crest with Rotom Camerupt in the back. And, of course, this is a 1800 rated player, so, obviously highly rated on the ladder. He's definitely going to be a competent player, based off his rating. And he's got a solid team, so we'll see how things play out. He's going to lead with Kangaskhan and Bisharp, okay. Against Hari Crest. Kang Bisharp is actually a really bad lead matchup for me here. However, so there are two plays I can make here. Or three, I guess. But the question is what I want to do with Hariyama. More times now when I see a Fake Outer, I close combat, especially if it's Kangaskhan. So I can Fake Out Bisharp if he chooses to Fake Out Crest, and I break a potential Focus Sash, but I don't think that's what I want to do. I'm going to go for the close combat onto the Kang and the Trick Room. This way, if he Fake Outs the Hariyama, then I'll be able to get up Trick Room most likely. I don't think that Bisharp will be able to one-hit KO Cresselia, barring a Night/critical hit. He's going to Mega Evolve, though. We are going to see, a Return come out right away. It looks like he's probably going to double target this Crest, which is a smart play by my opponent's end. Going to bring me down to, and the knockoff, yep. So that does pick up the knockout onto Crest. We're going to trade KOs here, but my opponent definitely got the better end of it. And unfortunately, because, he actually has a Life Orb as well. Because I wasn't carrying Citrus Berry on my Cresselia, I wasn't going to be able to take off that knockoff. And knockoff, of course, is a newer move on Bisharp in VGC at least. We didn't see it used previously because it wasn't allowed. And if you're using Bisharp, the moveset tends to be knockoff, Iron Head, Sucker Punch, Protect. So we trade KOs there. I don't mind because even though I lost Cresselia and wasn't able to set up Trick Room, at least I knocked out the Kangaskhan, which was by far one of the bigger threats on my opponent's team. And I'm going to bring in Rotom now, just because Rotom matches really well against the rest of my opponent's team, regardless of what he brings in. He's going to bring in Gengar, which I'm perfectly fine to see. Now this is interesting. If he's got Suicune in the back, then I really need to conserve Rotom, and that's my biggest concern right now. Because if we trade KOs here, for example, if he Shadow Ball knockoffs my Rotom, and I KO one of his Pokemon, then I'm not going to be able to... The Suicune in the back is going to make things very difficult for me. he can easily double target either of my Pokemon right now for a KO. So I really don't want to protect Rotom and just let Hariyama faint. That's the main concern. And he's definitely got the Sash on Gengar, given that the Bisharp doesn't have Sash. I'm going to close combat Bisharp and Thunderbolt Gengar. Oh, he went for the Disable. Wow, nice. And the knockoff onto the Rotom, which is going to get rid of my Citrus Berry. Ooh, fantastic play by my opponent there. Should have played things the other way around. I should have knocked off the Gengar and Will-O-Wisp the Bisharp. Fantastic play by my opponent. And this is kind of why I love Battle Spot. You really learn some of the crazy things, or not even crazy things, but it's really rare to see Disable on normal Gengar. It tends to be more popular on Mega Gengar, but in this case, it really helped on my opponent. That's going to make this game very, very difficult to win. So I'm going to go for the knockoff here onto the Gengar, and I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. I'm thinking. He's probably going to want to double into Hariyama at this point, I would think. Though Rotom is the bigger threat right now. Alright, I'm just going to Hydro Pump the Bisharp and knock off the Gengar. He is going to go for a Shadow Ball here. Let's see who he targets. Okay, he's going to target the Rotom. Which is a good play, so maybe I should have protected there. If Suicune's the last one, I'm done for. Though at this rate, wow, that knockoff did a whole lot of damage. A lot more. Wow, even without even a crit. That's crazy. So my knockoff's going to knock out his Gengar, but if his last Pokemon is it basically needs to be Zapdos for me to have a chance of winning this match. So I guess we're going to have to see. But Disable Gengar, really nice on my opponent's end. Really, really. That looks like Suicune. Yeah. My opponent played this game really, really well. I should have brought in Camerupt instead of Rotom that turn. If I brought in Camerupt, I would have just had offensive pressure right there. But instead, looks like this is going to be a loss for me. Unfortunately, Disable. Wow. Yeah, I should have played this smarter because I knew Camerupt was in the back, and I knew the one thing that would give Camerupt trouble was Suicune. So I could have brought in Camerupt just to threaten with it right away, and had he brought in Suicune, switch into the Rotom Wash I had in the back. So he's just going to go for the Iron Head onto Hari there. That's going to be a KO. So we see Sash. I use Sash on my own Bisharp, but Life Orb on his is really proving good, as he's going to be able to knock out me most likely here with the Scald. Let's see. Yep. So my opponent wins a very clean game 2-0. Much props to him. I thought he played that really, really well. He brought the right Pokemon. And a lesson learned here is when I don't set up Trick Room, I should bring out Camerupt if I can get a free switch into it. Camerupt shouldn't be the last Pokemon I have in the back. Unless, of course, my opponent has a lot of threats to it. But if that is the case, I wouldn't probably even bring Camerupt in the first place. So I think had I brought Camerupt when we both traded knockouts after the first turn, he would have had a Gengar and a Bisharp against a Camerupt, and Camerupt can actually deal with those, unlike Rotom Wash, which you saw took so much damage from both. And I had him brought in Camerupt, he would have basically been forced to double up into Camerupt, and then I would have been able to knock out his Bisharp, and then would have been Rotom Wash and Hariyama against Gengar and Suicune. And at least in that matchup, it's slightly winnable. In this case, it was a loss after the Disable came out, basically. Camerupt couldn't do anything in the back, and that's one of the issues with Mega Camerupt. If you're not able to set up Trick Room, then you are severely hindered. So, unfortunate there, but there are a lot of good lessons to learn from that match, especially Disable on Gengar. So if you see Gengar running around, you should not assume Disable, but know that it's an option. I actually forgot it was an option because I never saw normal Disable Gengar last year. All the Disables on Gengar were on Mega Gengars, but definitely a good lesson to learn there, and I should have played smarter knowing my opponent most likely had Suicune in the back. But anyway, that's it for today's Road to Ranked episode. So a close win in the first match, but a pretty tough loss the second time around as my opponent swept through me. Leave a like if you enjoyed the battle, or the battles, I guess. Let me know if you want to see 2 battles in future episodes. I think it's pretty fun. It's only around 20 minutes, so a fair amount of time. And always nice to have both a win and a loss because you can see what I did right and what I did wrong. So my rating should still be over 1700. Yep, it's currently at 1704. So that's it for today's episode, guys. Until then, I'll see you next time. Peace.